On day 34, we'll take a Kenai Fjords trip around Resurrection Bay, stopping at Fox Island to eat, and then we will drive up to Anchorage where we'll spend the night. We'll be leaving from the small craft harbor and Deborah's ready to go. We'll be on the Nanutuk, and we're number 38 to get on board. And now it's time to head down the wharf to where our ship will be docking, and here she comes. Soon we're on board and heading out of the harbor. There's the people fishing already this morning. And there's a sea otter. He seems to be there rather regularly and doesn't mind the boat traffic at all. There on the right is a Seward Creek bypass waterfall and Lowell Road that we traveled on the first day we were here. And now with Deborah settled down on the inside and me on the outside taking pictures, we head off from Seward to explore Resurrection Bay. On Cain's Head Point, the U.S. Army built an artillery position and base to protect the Seward area during World War II from the Japanese who had just attacked the Aleutian Islands. And now, since we left about the middle of the morning, we're approaching Fox Island. This is where we're going to eat our salmon and prime rib buffet and spend a little resting time looking around the island before leaving again on the boat. Out back is a lake. The salt water has killed these trees as it has inundated this lake, and now it is salt water instead of fresh water. Down on the beach you're getting some sea kayaks ready, and this beach is made of rounded stones, as you can see here. Along the shore there are many lion's mane jellyfish washed up. They're really beautiful to look at. They're about the size of a 12-inch dinner plate. Some of them are on shore and some of them are at the water's edge, washing back and forth. And then it's time to head back to our boat and head out of the bay. As we leave Fox Island, let us remember where we're traveling and where we have been. First we came to Fox Island and ate, then we went around the backside, and we're going to tour a few little islands before heading back to Seward. Around the backside of Fox Island is Sandspit Point State Marine Park. It's a natural sand spit that sticks out into the strait between the island and the mainland. This strait is one of the most geologically active places in the world. It is the boundary between two different plates. This strait goes right through here, the Pacific Plate on the left and the North American Plate on the right, and the Pacific Plate is slowly sinking underneath the North American Plate on the right. All this makes it very geologically active, and there have been hundreds of earthquakes while we have been here in Seward. This is the North American Plate on this side, and on that side is the Pacific Plate. As we cruise along the mainland, we see the intertidal region on the rocks, and there's some stellar sea lions also sunning. The Alaska Sea Life Center has a monitoring station here where they can watch the stellar sea lions and their activity. And also along here is the bird nesting cliffs. A few weeks ago, these would have been really active places, but now there's just a few birds hanging around, like these horned puffins. Here we see some more horned puffins and also some common mewers sitting in one of the ledges. Double-crested cormorants like the sunny weather more, and they're out sunning on the beach. And there, just above them on the rocks, is a mountain goat. This is one of the few areas that you can actually see mountain goats. Most of the time, it's dog sheep. As we approach the time some surf scooters fly off into the distance. And now as we approach the other shore, we see Bear Glacier again, as we've seen it before, with its freshwater lagoon behind the terminal moraine. You really can't see the water. You can just see the trees on that terminal moraine, but here's an iceberg back there in it, and here's another one. And now it's time to head back to Seward. This has been a fairly short cruise, only about 4 hours. As we approach Seward, we see behind it Marathon Mountain. On the 4th of July, they run the Mountain Marathon race here. 3,000 feet, 3.5 miles, round trip up and down. And since this is Memorial Day weekend, we've got a crowd everywhere, camping and fishing. And now we're arriving back in the harbor, and it's time to say goodbye to Seward, who welcomed us about 5 days ago. We're going to be driving back to Anchorage tonight at 800 miles an hour simulated. We'll be covering about 150 miles in 6 minutes.
lost in the sweet of the horizon. Water so deep, mountains are rising. No one but you by my side through lows and highs, lost in the sweet of the horizon. On top of the world, and then the wolves howl, and then the wolves howl, and then the wolves howl. The wolves on top of the world.
And now we depart the Alaska's Kenai Peninsula. Soon we're rounding the end of Turnagain Fjord and heading westward toward Anchorage.
There's a part of me, wild and free. In my heart there's a wild wolf howling to the tall pine tree. It's a long cold trail that I've been on. There just doesn't seem to be an end to this way I've been going. Oh, I can see that road spreading over the land. I see a young boy standing with a suitcase in his hand. And it was long ago, the boy was me. And I was running like a wolf in the mountains, wild and free.
We stopped for a few minutes at Beluga Point, but it's low tide, and as you can see, there aren't going to be any beluga whales here.
From a family that I love and a warm roof above, but everybody around me does say, oh, it was just me, being wild and free. Didn't care at all which way I did go. I didn't mind the hunger, the wind or the rain or the snow, 'cause I was on the road to what I wanted to be. Just another man moving down the highway, wild and free. Well, I've got it in my mind that it must have been the times that made me to wander away from a family that I love and a warm roof above, but everybody around me to say it was just me.
After arriving back in Anchorage, we go have the car washed so it'll be fresh when we return it and head to our hotel to get some night sleep.
I know it is sad, but the day has come for you to turn towards home. I know it will still take several days to get there, but now all your travel is in that direction. I am glad you got to see me up here in the mountains. I came down so you could get a better view. I know that salmon and prime rib dinner on Fox Island was excellent. I know the drive back to Anchorage was long, but then you do not have to drive it tomorrow, and that will give you more time to explore tomorrow. Maybe even one more time through Denali, who knows? Well, get some good sleep and have a great time tomorrow.
This ends day 34 of our trip.